Okay, it's time for a recap of episode 6 of Love is Blind. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This episode pissed me off. And I apologize in advance because if you're a longtime watcher of my channel, then you know I hate swearing. I only swear when I'm really fired up about a subject. And I hate when I do it. But sometimes there's no other way to convey my expression and my angst other than just swear. So I apologize. But okay, so in this episode, JP pissed me off so bad. I wanted to jump through the screen and beat him with my microphone because what the hell is wrong with this man? I from jump did not like this guy. Okay, he gave me bad vibes. And then we finally got to see him interacting with Taylor, and he was just so weird and just strange and just all the time. You know, with all his like staring at her. You know, she would try so hard to make conversations with this lame ass man, and all he'd do is stare at her all the time. And she finally gets sick of it, and she's like bringing it up constantly. And all he says is, I don't want to end this. Don't leave me. Like nothing of substance. He never says full sentences, just like 2-3 words at a time. And it's so irritating, right? So they're talking again about the next day about how he needs more time to come out of his shell. And he's going to do that when they move in together in Houston. And I just don't believe it. I'm like, if you can't really even put together more than 2 words at a time, why the heck should I go pack my things up and move in with you just to freaking like struggle with like how hard it is to have a conversation with you? Absolutely freaking not. And then Taylor, she's not convinced. And JP just looks at her and goes, don't give up on us. Like as usual, he just does that all the time, stares at you and gives you 2-3 words, then stares at you again, you know? Now, then we get into Izzy and Stacy. Listen, like I like that they're happy with each other, but again, like Lydia and Milton as well. And I mentioned this in episode 5's recap, but they're just laying it on too thick with all the like sexual stuff. It's annoying. It's too much. It's uncomfortable. I have to keep fast forwarding. Like it's weird. Okay, I get it. You guys have all these butterflies, this, that, and the other, but like it feels like they go out of their way to let us know that they have sex, and it's like okay, like we get it. It's fine, you know. So anyway, it's bedtime now. We're back to the drama between JP and Taylor at this point, and this is where things get freaking disgusting. Okay, so Taylor once again has to be the adult in this relationship because JP is a vacant shell of a human who doesn't bring up any kind of conversation, literally nothing. And so she confronts it again. She's like, I feel uncomfortable being in bed with you right now because we don't talk. It's weird. Like, what are we doing here at this point if you're not even going to make a freaking effort to have a conversation? And then JP is just sitting there. He's like, stop making it awkward. It's only awkward because you keep letting it get awkward. It was only awkward day 1, but it shouldn't be awkward anymore. And like, well, if it's not, what's your problem? You're supposed to have a conversation with people, okay? You don't just sit there staring at them, JP. That's what she's trying to get through to you. So why are you telling her that she's being awkward when you keep just staring at her, you know, with your teeth out every time she talks to you? Like, what? Like, it's just, I don't understand this guy, you know? And so, he just, and he never even asks her what's awkward to try to get to the root of the things to see what he could do as her fiance to fix things, you know? And just the way that he blames it on her when he's the one who doesn't even have conversations. He's the one who told her, you could be the only one to talk in this relationship. It's fine. I'll just be here. Like, really, dude? Just accept the fact that you have no freaking personality and stop trying to blame it on Taylor, who's the only person in this relationship trying to communicate, you know? And so this is where things get really disgusting. Like, he found he found his angle. He's going to blame it all on her. He's going to gaslight her and act like she's the weird one. She's the awkward one. And then you know what he says, you guys? This guy who should be thanking the good Lord that he even matched with Taylor, okay? He goes, well, you know what? It's also awkward because when I first saw you, you were wearing makeup. It was fake. How dare you wear makeup? It was like wearing like a completely different face. Like, you know, makeup, be gone makeup. You're so scary. I can't talk if a girl's wearing, like, how does this guy go out in public if a woman wearing makeup, which we pretty much all wear, with a small minority of us who don't, makes him so uncomfortable that all he can do is stare at you. Like, are you kidding? Like, and why would you go on a reality show, JP, if you don't like wearing women wearing makeup? Like, you watch TV. I'm sure you realize as you're watching that the majority of these women wear makeup because cameras are so damn harsh and people are hard on us for our appearances, you know? Um, and then he literally describes her makeup as a caked up face, false eyelashes, ungodly. Well, I added the ungodly thing, but that's literally what he sounded like. He sounded like freaking off his rocker, okay? And he's like, you just presented as fake. You even left your makeup on my jacket. I'm like, you freaking prick. Are you kidding me? Like, and Taylor even brought it up that she only wore makeup that one time where they met for like what 15 minutes or something like that at the reveal. So you mean to tell me, JP, that you have not been able to talk to this woman for the days that you've been on vacation, all because you saw her wear makeup for 15 minutes one time? Really? If that's the case, then you've got serious problems, dude, you know? And then if that's the case, then it's you who's been making things awkward. So why are you blaming it on Taylor? Why are you telling her that she's been awkward since day one and she's like had it follow her? Meanwhile, this whole time you're upset with her because she wore makeup for a 15-minute reveal and she's been barefaced and beautiful every single day that you guys have been in Mexico and you still don't have a freaking personality. He is such an asshole, you guys, blaming his shortcoming, his failure to have a freaking personality on Taylor wearing makeup for 15 minutes in his presence. Give me a break. What a freaking piece of scum. Absolute scum, you guys. I cannot. I am so pissed. He really acted like he was traumatized by her wearing makeup. It was just so ridiculous. And I'm sorry, he's just doing that. It's not true. He's only doing that because he doesn't want to accept responsibility for the fact that he is not interesting. He's got nothing going on. He doesn't know how to have a conversation like an adult. And if you were so horrified by her wearing makeup that one time, why is it that all you do is stare at her? Every time the camera pans on you, you're doing nothing but staring at the girl. Meanwhile, we're supposed to believe that you're traumatized by her face because it was so caked up and it was horrifying to you. Like, really? And then at this point, like, he starts yelling. He gets real aggressive with her in bed to not wear makeup. Why are you yelling at this girl to not wear makeup when she hasn't been wearing makeup? She wore it once for 15 minutes. What are we even arguing about, you freaking psycho? You know, like, what? And then he has the nerve to say 99% of women would love to hear from a Dusty that we shouldn't wear makeup. What? Stop. We don't want to hear shit from you guys about what we should be wearing on our faces, how we should be dressing, how we should be living our lives. Male opinions do not freaking matter to us. Okay? They don't. We don't need you guys to tell us what to do in any way, shape, or freaking form, especially when you can't even measure up to the woman that you're with. Stop. Taylor has been carrying you guys. She is the personality. She is the brains. She is the everything. And you're just there, staring. So on what planet do you think your opinion on anything holds any kind of value and should be, stop. And then she tells him that she's not spending the night with him. Thank God, because that was horrifying, that conversation that he had with her. And then he just says real quick that he doesn't care. Again, pathetic prick. I can totally see why he's single. Okay. Being single is a great thing. I'm not saying that as an insult, but when you see the way he treats women and like speaks to women and the way he literally has no freaking personality outside of a flag, I can see why he in particular is single. And it's not by choice in his respect. I could tell you that much. Many people are single by choice. They've got options, but they choose to remain single. I don't think JP falls into that category. He is single for a goddamn reason. And by the way, Taylor was too nice to tell him that she appreciated the conversation and that she still loves and cares for him. I absolutely would not. I'd be packing my bags and leaving. You're not getting another word out of me, you freaking prick. So now, before I freaking pop a vessel here, let's move on to Lydia and Milton, shall we? I cannot believe how often they talk about their ages. Like they're always joking that, oh, ho, ho, you're so young. Oh, ho, ho, you're so old. We get it. There's an age difference here. Let's move on. Okay. Now, child, listen, time for me to go raise my blood pressure again with JP and Taylor. So they meet the next morning. So she can tell, so he can tell her that he wants to work on things. Work on what? You're mad and you can't have a conversation with this girl apparently because you saw her in makeup for 15 minutes one time. There's nothing to work on because you're unhinged. Okay, like what the hell do you think she wants to work on with you? And he doesn't want her wearing makeup to derail the progress in their relationship. Like, stop. She is not vying for a relationship with you. You're lucky she even continued on, for more than a day with you and your cardboard, non-existent personality. This reminds me of a guy I was dating over the summer. Over the summer, I was dating this guy, and he reminds me so much of JP in like the lack of a personality thing, but I didn't notice because he was so good at mirroring my personality. So I thought he had this like personality that I really liked. And then one day I realized, wait a minute, like this is my personality that's like being reflected back to me. Like I'm gonna try to like not say anything or like let's see what energy he's bringing to the table if I'm not, and then we'll see. And guess what happened on that date? We didn't speak. The guy, he had nothing to say. Like he'd say like little things here and there, but he didn't have anything to say. It was totally like JP vibes. But like he really enjoyed spending time with me, this, that, and the other, but like only like if he could absorb my personality. If you know what I mean? And I was like, no, I don't need a succubus. Okay. So after that, I was like, sorry, peace out. I'm not doing this. No. So just seeing these guys with no personality try to like leech and drag off women and then bring you down and blame you for their lack of personality, absolutely freaking not. It really fires me up. So now they do their meetup, and Taylor tells him that she was ready to marry him in the pods, but after meeting him in real life and seeing this completely different side of him, she feels uncomfortable. And the relationship feels forced, like she has to constantly drag things out of him. And he was getting pissed off that she kept saying that she was uncomfortable. And I was glad that Taylor kept saying uncomfortable. I'd be uncomfortable around you too, JP. So let Taylor describe her experience in her own words because it is very valid what it is that she's saying. And then she says that the whole makeup thing, like, making things awkward is an excuse. And she doesn't think that they should be engaged or living together because she's done with a relationship. And I stood up and I clapped for my girl, like, yes, I am so happy she didn't put up with his BS. Like, absolutely no. And then he says he wishes that they could have hashed it out the first day. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta say it. Oh, fuck right off, dude. I wish we could have hashed this out the first day. Meanwhile, you never even said anything the first day. You never said anything the second day. You never said anything after that. You're not a man. Okay, like you have no communication skills. You were never going to bring this up because you can't speak for yourself. And now you're like, I wish we hashed this out. How could we hash things out when you don't speak, JP? How are we going to hash it out? With a staring off competition? Everyone just staring at each other? Is that how we were supposed to hash this out? Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, Miss Tay gives JP the ring and apologizes. And I'm like, girl, don't apologize for breaking off this engagement. Like, no, absolutely not. It's his fault that it's over. And then he apologizes for making her feel uncomfortable, as he should. And then he's there. He's asking her, what do we do now? Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, something's not right with this man. She just broke off an engagement with you. What do you mean? What do we do now? Like what? Pack your bags, fool. Pack your bags and go home. So anyway, now at this point, I gotta say, having only 3 couples was already really skimpy and like awkward feeling. But now we're only down to 2. Like, oh God, I'm dreading the rest of the season. But let's see how things go. Now, Melton and Lydia move into their apartment, and then Melton gets an email from one of his colleagues saying that he's on night shifts because he had to go away to film the show and whatnot. And that means that he starts work at 6:30. Lydia finishes work at like 5:30. So they're not really going to be able to see each other about 3 days a week. But it's like, okay, the majority of the week you could still see each other. Not a big deal. And then we get to see their actual apartments outside of the production apartments. And Lydia visits Milton's apartment, and she really, truly hated his like cow rugs or whatever, cowhide or whatever that was, and how bare the apartment was. I'm like, listen, at least it's nice, it's modern, it looks like, an apartment with some coin, and it's clean. Those are the most important things. And Milton's friend comes over, and he's even more nerdy than Milton is. I was like, this is so cute, this little clique. And his friend lets it be known that Milton started making six figures straight out of college. He had his associate's degree when he was in high school, and he's ready for a marriage because he talks about Lydia in a way that's different from the other girls he's been dating and talking about. And Milton has told him that he feels like Lydia can influence him in the right direction. I'm like, that's a good friend right there. A friend that's gonna hype you up, He seemed very, very genuine. But again, I did a video on Milton and how his ex-girlfriend had exposed him on TikTok last year. So I don't know if the friend's in on something, but alas, I don't know. But yeah, he was a good friend. That's what I'll leave it at that. Now, let's get into Stacy and Izzy. They go over to Stacy's house. It's a very, very beautiful house, and she owns it. And to be honest with you guys, by the way she was talking about her father and her father's money, I'm like, okay, well, did you buy this with your own money or did your dad get you the down payment? Like, not to hate, but that's just the vibe I was getting. Um, but I digress. And she starts talking to him about finances, and I knew Johnny was right about Izzy be having money problems, because when Stacy was talking to him about money, his whole body was shaking. He was biting his lips. His eyes were watering. He looked ready to cry and melt into that chair. That man does not have money. Okay. And Stacy, I don't know if that's something you want to tolerate or not. I guess it depends on his ambition and his attitude towards the future, because he is 29 at the end of the day. So, anything can happen and change. He says he's like a 50-50 guy. Oh, Stacey's not going for that. She is not going for that. Even when it comes down to dinner, I'm like, what married couple's paying 50-50 for dinner, child? That sounds like weird. Like, he's like, when the bill comes, I pay half of it with my card, you pay half of it with your card. In a marriage? Is he? Absolutely fucking not. I'm sorry, but I think he's a financial downgrade for her, and I don't know that it's going to work out. I think she can. I just don't see it, to be honest with you guys. I don't. He seemed very shook by how behind he is financially when it comes to like her and her life, and I feel like that's going to manifest in very ugly ways in this relationship. Like sometimes men do get jealous when a woman is, further ahead in life. But, given the age differences and whatnot, I think that has a role to play as well. So hopefully he gives himself some grace in that respect. And her background, it seems like she comes from a more affluent family than him as well. So, although she works hard, she also has a boost. I suspect her father gave her the down payment for the house, so I hope that like that comforts him, that like, it's okay. Like, her lifestyle is not realistic. Most people have to work for everything on their own, but like she's got a big boost behind her. Anyway, child, Aaliyah the crybaby's back. Lord have mercy. If you watch my recap of episode 5, I find her annoying as hell. But she shows up in a nice restaurant waiting for Uche to show up. But he shows up, but she doesn't even stand up to greet him. I'm like, girl, and this is a man you're trying to get back. You can't even stand up to greet him. You're just sitting there. All right. That would turn me off if I were going to meet a man and he's supposed to beg for me back. He can't even stand up to greet me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So he sits down ungreeted, and she grovels to him about how she wants him. I'm like, girl, you are playing yourself. This man already sounded on the phone like he is never going to deal with you again. And here you are begging for him. Like, what? You didn't hear him on the phone? Now you're talking about you'd marry him after you left him and ghosted him and got your ass scolded on the phone. Real clown girl shit. I keep telling you, Aaliyah, she's not right either. A lot of these people seem touched in some capacity, and Aaliyah definitely falls into that category for me. I'm sorry, you guys. Again, I know people like to be like, oh, this person's good, this person's bad. They can't both be bad. In my opinion, she's just as touched as Uche and Lydia are. The three of them. Whoo. I don't even have words for it, okay? But anyway, listen, sorry that I swore a couple times in this video. I really hate that I did that, but I was just so passionately pissed off by the JP thing. The way he spoke to Taylor was disgusting. It was just a pathetic attempt to make her feel bad for his own failures and shortcoming, and I was not gonna let it slip. Okay. Anyway, you guys, that does it. A recap of what went down on Love is Blind season 5, episode 6. As usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about everything. So please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.